Good, whatever time of day it is when you're watching this video. We're going to talk about something that I care very much about. I'm very passionate about this topic. Today we're talking about arms. Big, massive, gargantuan, strong, rippling arms. No, not everybody wants that, but what the exercises we're going to talk about today come with their advantages. We're picking exercises that are going to improve the way that our shoulder functions. It's cool to have big and strong muscles, but it's even cooler to be able to use them, to be able to reach and itch every part of your back that itches, or wash every part of your back. You know, that many of us have that spot where it's just really hard to get to on your back and you can never quite wash it exactly, so maybe it's a little dirtier than the rest. I'd like to help you avoid that while having good looking arms in the process. So today, we got to start by finding somebody with really tiny, weak, and embarrassing to have arms. Let's go look for someone. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking for the perfect specimen. Not everybody fits the picture. Today we're looking for somebody with small... You wouldn't want to walk out in public with these types of arms. Oh, I think we see someone. Here. You guys see him? Come look at this. Man, that is who we're looking for. Perfect candidate for today's topic. Tiny, weak, scrawny, embarrassing to have arms. The perfect picture.
No, absolutely
I'm asking
not.
for one more video.
Not another one. I hate you. This is crossing the line.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we found him. The perfect candidate.
Hello everyone, my name is Rock. I am here to do whatever I can to help people of form and fitness and YouTube watchers achieve better mobility and bigger arms.
All right. Wasn't I telling you? The perfect candidate. He's going to love this.
All
right, let's get into it.
I hate you.
All right, so we're going to go over a collection of my favorite arm exercises, both for biceps, triceps, and shoulders. And there's a reason we picked all of these exercises. Well, three main reasons. Reason number one is training in a lengthened position. There's a lot of current research that shows that training muscles in a lengthened position is a really advantageous way to cause mechanical tension being the number one driving factor for why muscles grow through exercise. Reason number two is the mobility aspect of training in a lengthened position, where these end ranges of motion are actually where you're at a highest risk of injury. So it behooves you to train at these points of range of motion, get strong in them, and that way you can have more mobile shoulders with a large range of motion and be at a lower risk of injury at these dangerous points to move. All right, and reason number three.
You're bald.
Reason number three is, we like to train our muscles at different points in the range of motion, or having our joints in different positions. This helps bias different parts of the muscle and therefore helps grow the muscle and strengthen the muscle in different points of position. So we'll call this the stretch and the squeeze principle. When we stretch the muscle, it's lengthened. When we squeeze the muscle, it's shortened. So for example, when we train our biceps, we're going to want to train them in a shortened position in shoulder flexion and in a lengthened position, shoulder extension. Let's hop right into it. All right, so a few of these exercises are actually pretty complicated, and I know that there is a prerequisite amount of flexibility required to do some of them, so I'm going to give you alternatives if it looks like it's just something your shoulder's not ready to do. Here's exercise number one for the biceps. This is going to be a pretty tough exercise. So the setup is with the ropes. The way you grab it, I'll get some B-roll showing you the angle of how I want you to grab the ropes. So you want to get into shoulder extension, you get as vertical and upright as possible, and then with your arms up behind you, you're now at a position of shoulder extension. So we're going to raise the arms just a little bit here, and now his goal is to try to get his thumbs to the bottom of his shoulder blades. So give me a few bicep curls here. Resistance for this one can be pretty high. Right now we have on there, because he's really weak and small with tiny biceps, is a very low amount of weight, but if you're someone who's stronger and bigger arms, you might have a lot more weight on there, up to like 50 pounds on each handle, maybe even more. For an exercise like this, if you're new to it, I would treat it more like endurance and try to do lower reps. Sorry, opposite of that. Lower weight, higher reps, as many reps as you can. There's other funky things you can do to get more out of this exercise, especially from a muscle growth perspective. So let's say that Rock has fatigued. He's done as many full reps as he can. He's going to start to just barely flex the arm, bend the arm just a little bit and get partials, stretch partials. It may feel like you're not doing much. Actually, that's a lie. If you're doing this right, it's going to feel like you're doing a ton. It might not look like you're doing a lot, and that's what I want to emphasize here. Though it doesn't look like much is occurring here, those stretch, that lengthened position is actually where so much more effect happens. So when you can no longer touch your back, it is still worth doing those stretch partial reps until failure, until you can't do anymore. Tough exercise to do. So just real quick, I realize that a lot of people can't get into that type of position. So a similar premise, similar concept, much less complicated, is a seated shoulder extension bicep curl. What's important to get right is keeping the elbows back here. What a lot of people do wrong is when they curl, they also flex the shoulder and raise it up, taking away that stretch. Your goal is to keep the elbow far back the whole time and always stand. That's extremely wrong. We're totally different. Something's happening. That's not what back to the point. Shoulder stays, or elbow stays back here. You want to stay in shoulder extension. And then again, the same principle applies where if you can no longer bring palms all the way up to the shoulder, it is still worth doing from full extension to just partial reps. We are now training the squeezed position, which is in shoulder flexion. This is a preacher curl. There's a lot of different ways to do it. This is just one variation if you want to make sure that you're using equipment that's close by. Since we just used ropes, we're going to keep it in hammer grip. Just know that if you want to bias the biceps even more, you might switch to handles so that you can have a supinated grip. But right now we have more of a neutral grip, so our thumbs are pulling upward. We're flexing the arm in a flexed shoulder position, so we are shortening the bicep and then squeezing the bicep. Really good exercise, especially in combination after doing a stretch. All right, so I thought I would show you the other variation of preacher curl. I thought about doing it, but we don't have weights heavy enough for me to use, and I needed someone weaker and to struggle a little bit more, so here's Rock doing it. Same idea where we're in shoulder flexion, pulling our palms up to our shoulders, and again, now he's got a supinated grip, so he's working those biceps a little bit better. Oh, Rock, you're developing a vein. I'm so happy for you. It's already working. Do you see the ray of light coming in over here? That means you know we picked a really good exercise here. We're starting with our stretch exercise for triceps. It is your tricep overhead extension or French press, a whole lot of different variations. You can do this with free weights or cables like we're doing here. We're gonna keep with the theme and stick with cables for right now. So we're grabbing it thumb down, pinky up, and we're going to get in a stretched position here, which now is shoulder flexion to stretch the triceps. And we're going to extend out of that, straightening our arms up overhead. You're going to get a whole lot of stretch in here. Even lats are going to get involved with this one, at least in the stretch portion. Your main mover, though, you're going to want to keep it on the triceps. So focus on the tricep as you lower the thumbs down slowly and then press the pinky up to the sky. Great exercise. Here is the stretch component of the tricep superset. All right, so exercise number 2 here is the tricep squeeze, and this is also that shoulder mobility portion where it is now assisting you up into that stretch, and then you're resisting it by pulling out of it. So with that B-roll, I will have showed you how he grabbed the handles here, and all we're going to do now is press your pinky straight down to the floor. I want to preface that this is a very advanced tricep variation to this exercise. If you are not able to control the weight that you're using, you could very well hurt the tendons on the front of the shoulder, or really just a whole host of muscles in your shoulder here. But if you're able to control it, it is an awesome exercise and a very unique way of training your triceps while improving your shoulder flexibility. And again, you can move a pretty dang heavy weight with this one if you are comfortable and confident with the way you move. All right, so while I got you here, I actually thought I would show you an exercise that I hate. I think this is a terrible tricep exercise, and it is the dumbbell tricep kickback. The kickback is not a bad exercise, but doing it with a dumbbell loads the muscle in a way where you're losing tension pretty dang quickly in it. For most of the motion, you're not having any sort of tension on the tricep. Down here, up here, good. Down here, not too much is happening.
Blast.
I'm going to show you a way to make this a much more effective exercise using a cable. All right, so here's the major difference. It's the line of pull. It's the direction of force that you're resisting. This time it's pulling forward and backward rather than up and down. So as Rock extends his elbow and lowers forward, that eccentric portion, when that elbow is bending again, you're getting a whole lot of resistance, a whole lot of mechanical tension on the tricep.
Not flaccid.
Unlike with the dumbbell, not flaccid. This one is going to be a whole lot more valuable. Don't do tricep kickbacks with dumbbells unless it is your only option. All right, so now let's talk about the bicep exercise I hate.
Yep.
There is no bicep exercise I hate. All right, y'all, so I just thought I would summarize our closing thoughts here after covering, hey,
Nope.
wait a minute, Rock.
Yeah, nope, we're not closing quite yet because I didn't get to talk in this one. So, we're gonna end with one of my favorite tricep exercises. Basically a variation of the skull crusher with a little extra stretch. So, you guys are gonna lie down, get 2 dumbbells, you're gonna position them parallel, or I should say, right in line with each other. And as you come down, right next to the head, put them next to the head, let your arms come back for a little extra stretch in the tricep. Then bring them forward, up, and back to right in line with each other. This gives that little bit of extra stretch at the very bottom to give that tricep a little more wear and tear.
This is actually a very good exercise.
Suck it.
All right, you get this one. All right, so in closing, I would suggest doing these exercises as supersets. You could do both of the bicep exercises back to back, 10 to 20 reps of each, 3 or 4 sets. And then the tricep exercises back to back, 10 to 20 reps each, 3 to 4 sets. Another way you could vary this up is pick one of the biceps and one of the triceps, superset those two, and then superset the other two. There's a lot of different ways you could do it. This could be an entire workout or just sneak this into your full body or upper body days, however you want to split it up. Awesome exercises, put some effort into them, you'll see a lot of results.
And now his phone is mine.
And she was like, I cannot believe arms can get that big. I'm like, I know, it doesn't surprise me though.
Your arms are really popping today.
Oh, thank you, it's just another Tuesday.
Jeremiah, it's Wednesday.
When you got arms like these, it doesn't really matter what day of the week it is.
Yeah. Rock, you might want to work on yours a little bit. Looking scrawny.